Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Cast Brothers. It's a Smash Brothers podcast. If you haven't heard of it, it's been going on for a few years now. I don't know why, but
Over five.
I am Zantok, otherwise known as Lister, the master hand of the show, as it were. And with me, as usual, I can't say as always because he's missed a couple episodes. We
You've
have
missed
this guy.
one where Waluigi was there.
That's
I interviewed
true. I did
Waluigi.
miss an episode. But I don't know where you keep thinking about this Waluigi thing. But who are you?
Jonno.
That's it. He's Jonno. He's the crazy hand of the duo here. It's really no surprise at all when you think about our roles on the show
Yeah.
and in life and everything and all at once.
But it's like that's crazy hand on. Yeah.
Quit trying to grab me.
Wow. I'm not gonna say anything. Leave that where
Okay.
it stands.
Oh no. Oh dearie me. This just got scary. So,
Yeah.
it's an on-topic episode. We'll get to talk about boss battles and Smash Brothers here in a bit. But first of all, at the top of the episode, since it's an on-topic, let's catch up. Jono, what's going on? What's happening? How's life?
Yeah. It's
What
life
games
is
you been playing?
well, I'll share this.
Milk, chocolate. Okay, It's a good thing that you brought that close to the screen because the last line at first looked like pants.
Well, if only it were that kind of gift. But no, I
Oh,
was told not to share the name, the real life name of who gave this to me, but I was allowed to use their username. So FlameZone17, thank you for being my Valentine on Valentine's Day 2025.
have we used his real name on the show before?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's-
Well, thank you, TurboTaxer.
yeah, thank you. Yes. It's fine. I mean, I'm tired. It's been wild. This is the time of year where, stuff in my world that I do outside of here is really picking up. So my team at kind of my primary workplace just got off of 5 straight weeks of just like festivities and big events that we have been producing. So every weekend there was literally essentially a festival sized event happening
Jeez.
um, since the start of the year. So from January on through the first week of February, we have a light reprieve, and then we have the biggest festival that we do every year in a week. Big food festival up in Phoenix. So yeah, I mean I always enjoy working with them and getting out of the house, but yeah, it is. When you do it that hard for that burst of time, doesn't seem like a lot of time, but when you're committing to like physical labor, it is.
Hmm.
But not to complain. I've had fun. I've had fun, and we're just moving ahead. Kind of our big event over here in my mind's eye is the Tucson Folk Festival. That's coming up on, I think, my 9th year, like on the board or staff with them, and we're getting into the debauchery of being in the last like couple month stretch producing this massive festival that serves like about 20,000 people every year um, across 3 days in downtown Tucson. It's just again like just a massive event, like 150 performances, over 400 musicians coming to town from all over the country to play this show. It's a massive undertaking, and it's kind of my pride, the big thing that we all do down here, and we're just kind of barreling towards that. Gaming wise, you know, I've been playing a lit. I've been plugging into Final Fantasy 16.
Ah.
Yeah, I as you may know about me, I haven't gotten very far. I've owned the game since December. I haven't gotten very far, but I
I
enjoy what I've
also
been
own it
playing
in
so far.
December, and I haven't opened it.
Oh. Well, for once, I'm ahead of you in a game that we're both playing.
I mean, I'm probably gonna stream it, so that's why.
Yeah. So, again, just that mysterious Flame Zone 17, like heavily recommended it to us not long ago on this podcast. So when I kind of gifted myself a PS5 over the holidays, I was like, okay, I'll go get this
Yeah.
and play it. I got that, and I got Astrobot and Street Fighter 6.
You
So
should
there you go.
get what else should I convince you to get?
Metaphor Refantasio,
That's on multiple
Fantasia.
platforms. That's on multiple
Yeah,
platforms.
yeah. Well, if you pare it down to exclusives, there's not a whole lot there.
I mean, there's God of War.
Yeah,
We did a whole Kratos episode.
you did.
You could get. I don't know. I was trying to think of something stupid. You could get Concord.
Yeah, right.
Are there any physical copies of that?
I can get the physical edition of Baldur's Gate 3, which I found out was exclusive only to Japan, and therefore costs like $150 on average on eBay.
Listen, if you're gonna buy Baldur's Gate 3 not on Steam, just wait for the Switch 2 version, since it is all but officially confirmed that the Joy-Cons are a mouse.
There you go.
Which, speaking of, I think this is our first on topic since they officially revealed the Switch 2 minorly. It was like a fucking teaser trailer. But we finally know, like, yep, it exists. That's what it looks like. Like, yep, we've seen the leaks. They showed that little teaser, like, of a Joy-Con just like being rolled across a table, and then we recently saw patents about, like, yep, nope, this thing has mouse capabilities. Like, here we go. Your first person shooters, your RTS, your Baldur's Gate. They're all gonna love that. DS ports replace the stylus with the mouse capability. I think we're going to see some. I think they talked about, like, Sakurai talked about how, oh yeah, he'd love to do Kid Icarus port, but wasn't. Well, I think somebody's like, how would you do the control scheme on Switch? We have the pointer now, the mouse Joy-Con. Kid Icarus Uprising can be ported to the Switch too. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and Okami too. There you go.
Okamiden?
Mouse could be. Yeah, no, actually, there was a whole expose recently of Kamiya and some of the other directors talking about how they want to kind of gloss over Okamiden.
What?
And just have Okami 2 be a kind of direct sequel to Okami.
Is it said how far Okamiden takes place after Okami?
There's an inkling, but it's been so long since I played, I don't remember.
So maybe it's like far in the future then. I don't know what characters are in it.
Yeah, all of the like adult characters like Susanoo and whatever are in Okamiden, and they're like same age. So it's only a few years.
Odd then.
But it's because Kamiya didn't work on Okamiden, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they're just like, we don't want the story to go in the direction that ultimately did, even though I played it, and it's really an inconsequential story. Like, there's not a whole lot there that affects the overall timeline. But I guess there's some characters introduced or whatever that he wants to reset and kind of own himself. Okay. It's like, okay. Yep, whatever works.
I mean, like, I always have the feeling just like, I don't necessarily like when things get ignored or erased, even when they're bad. But also at the same time, I get it. Like, how many times does Terminator... Like, it's annoying when things like Terminator and Halloween do it multiple times. It's like, okay, yep, this one's ignoring these ones again. It's also ignoring the newest one, which was also ignoring these ones. Yeah, this is our third successor. This is the third sequel to Terminator 2 or Halloween 2 or whatever the fuck it was. Like, can we just move the fucking timeline forward? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Fox, Lilac Morse.
Oh, don't.
Platinum took Star Fox Zero off their website on the list of games they've worked on. They're like, fuck
Platinum
this.
took a lot of things off their website.
Oh,
Platinum,
didn't they?
I think if this Ninja Gaiden doesn't do well,
Mm-hmm.
Platinum's dead. Even if it does do well, I don't think Platinum's got much longer unless their next game is a hit and they're not having to rely on somebody else's money. Because they
Mm-hmm.
have lost a lot of people, and it turns out it's been a lot of like upper management mismanagement. Because I remember when Camia first left, a lot of the general internet like was things like, "Oh, Diva Camia was fighting with the people and he got forced out." Turns out, no, Camia was not the problem. We just think that
Yeah.
because his internet persona is
A problem.
not the word I was going to go with. I was thinking prickly.
Mm-hmm.
There are three big Japanese developers you do not fuck with online. There's Hideki Kamiya, there's Katsuhiro Harada, and there's Yoko Ono. Wait, no, is that a name? I always fuck up his name. Shit, the near guy.
Yeah. I don't know his name. Let's see.
I said somebody else's name.
Oh, Yoko
Yoko
Taro.
Taro. God damn it.
Yeah, Yoko
Yeah,
Ono is a singer.
yeah. I said it and I knew it was wrong, but I knew Yoko was correct. Like you don't fuck with these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Kamiya in his interviews reflecting on Platinum, he actually sounded quite leveled and fair, in his responses. So yeah, there's something beyond the online persona, and I think over the
Yep.
last few years he's also smoothed it out a little bit. Like he used to be very, you know, perceptively anyway, almost toxic, but I think he's gotten better
It's
over the
just
last few
that
years.
he doesn't suffer people's bullshit. And so when people ask him, it's like, "Oh, was the Okami 2 trailer done with AI?" And he's like, "Don't ever fucking ask me that again. I will slit your throat." It's like, all right, on one, damn. Two, good. He knows AI sucks.
Yep, yep.
He,
No,
like,
no good comes of
say
it.
what you will about his attitude and how he presents himself. This man gives a goddamn about his craft.
Yeah, yeah. That's why he's friends with Sakurai, because like, these are people that give a damn.
Yeah.
Hmm. And conversely, again, like he does occasionally. A story of his went semi-viral in the gaming world recently, where he called out a girl who made some sort of Okami fan art or something for him years ago, and responded to something of his in English. And that's one of his like meme rules: is don't speak to me in English on Twitter, or I will block you. You
Yeah.
you you bug. You
Now, honestly, I
insignificant bug.
don't. Yeah, I think that's where people kind of get negative. It's like, dude, what's the problem with that? Like, not everybody knows Japanese.
Yeah, yeah, and vice versa. So just use translate buttons. God.
Yeah, because those
Yeah,
are accurate.
yeah. Well, it'll take you a fair way anyway. But I remember he called her a bug and like blocked her, and then years later she was like went again, like this video had its turn on the internet, going around for sure, where she was crying at the reveal of Okami 2, and like it said Hideki Kamiya, like directed by, and then she started crying more, and he was like, I'm so sorry to this person who I blocked many years ago. I love this person. And then he just blocked her for speaking English. So
Camia.
yep.
Maybe he'll come out of his edgy phase with this.
Yeah, so maybe he will come out of his edgy phase at age 54. It's never too late.
I mean, hey, it's never too late to improve yourself.
Ain't that the truth? I think they go over that in the chapter on Seek, how curiosity can transform your life and change the world.
Listen, I don't care what your argument is. I'm not going to try this new food at the restaurant. I'm getting what I usually eat. Go fuck yourself.
Yes, the marshmallow burger.
Ugh. Uh, God. As for me though, things have been kind of.
Oh yes,
Uh,
yes. How are you? Did you buy
hmm.
an alarmo?
No, but you know what I have been doing? As I did get the Nintendo Music app, and I have been
Oh yeah.
putting like either the good night, the winter, or the break time playlist up whenever I go to sleep. So I haven't been doing that.
Sweet.
I was shocked when they added Golden Sun because they've been adding one new game a week since launch, and it's like, holy
Sweet.
shit! Nintendo's remembering Golden Sun. What?
I
Nice.
guess they kind of understand the appeal of the app is satiating people who are pissed at them for getting all this copyright strike stuff on YouTube.
Even then, like they're still missing some tracks, and there's some that's like they're like, oh yeah, some of our tracks you can extend up to 30 minutes, but not some of the big popular ones that people really wanted to extend. It's like, why can't I extend this one? The F
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it seems like a cool app. I haven't resubscribed to NSO yet this year. I'm just
mhm.
waiting on it because it's like I'm not playing online anyway. I don't have time to play. So when I do, I'm excited to get into that music app.
Yeah, I've seen some discourse about it online where people just like, oh, the drip feed, and it just doesn't seem worth it to have this. It's like, you're not paying for it, right? It's a freebie with your subscription. Like, would I love to have more things on there and not have drip? Yes. Are there franchises and games that are just like, why is this missing? Yes. Is it wild that they did like Tomodachi Collection and not another insert big name here? A little bit,
Hmm.
but it's a
I thought you'll get
free
there.
thing.
Yeah,
Give it a
yeah.
year, it's going to have a lot of things.
That's how I kind of feel about people who complain about the NSO expansion in general. It's like, okay, $50, it's slightly less than a single game. Just do it and boom, you get shit.
I think the problem with the NSO, though, is just compared to the fact that we already had Virtual Console. And they're just so it's like, oh, you thought you had those games? You don't have those games here. Now you can buy
Oh yeah.
essentially subscriptions to these games. And they add a bunch of weird games sometimes. And it's like, well, what about this
Mhm.
one? At the same time, it's also people will be like, hey, when can we get this game? But a lot of those games people ask for, Nintendo doesn't have the power to give us.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Third party games.
it's
Yeah,
hard.
I'm fine with the NSO apps, but at the same time, I understand that the issue is one day they'll be gone.
Yeah,
And in the meantime, I'm fine with paying for it. It's like nominal. It's a minimal fee. I'm like whatever. But yeah, I don't like that, and I don't like that even though it makes sense. It's a cloud-based system, so it's always locked behind Wi-Fi,
yeah,
so you can't like, play those games on the road. Those are the two downfalls, and that's why Kamiya again is in the news recently in Gaming World 4 saying you should bring back the Virtual Console, Nintendo. And it's like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, at least for first and second party games, why not?
hmm
Why the hell not? Even
It,
having
it
that built in,
switched
right? And
to
yeah.
it switched to, and if they either don't give us, see, here's the thing. I think we should have both Virtual Console and NSO. And NSO,
Hmm.
I don't know like what I would have it be distinguished as. Like if for some reason like if GameCube NSO is impossible due to game size, okay, then give us GameCube Virtual Console or remake
Hmm.
GameCube games or give us ports or stuff. They gave us Thousand Year Doors. Like yes, incredible. We got Pikmin 1 and 2. We got technically we got Super Mario Sunshine, but it's an emulated version and it's
Metroid Prime.
got weird stuff. Yeah, Prime. That's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. But it's like also, hey, what about Kirby Air Ride?
Hell yeah.
Luigi's Well, they remade Luigi's Mansion 2 for Switch, but we don't have the original.
The superior game. Yeah. Yeah. Doshin the Giant.
Good luck. Also, that was in
Cubivore.
64.
It's on GameCube as well.
It got ported, I believe.
Huh. Well, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD.
And Skyward Sword HD. Ah,
Woo! Yeah.
yeah.
Woo! Yay.
But
I enjoyed revisiting Batro. Yeah. Yeah. Life. Your life.
yeah,
Yes.
life. It's not good. I got let go recently. Can't talk much about it, but I've been trying to get something new. I've had an interview. I haven't heard back yet, so we'll kind of see. I'm not counting on it. We're
Yeah.
figuring things out.
Yeah,
Obviously, I've been
yeah.
playing a lot of games in the meantime. Right now, I'm streaming Yakuza Kiwami, which is funny. And the time it took, because sometimes we record things in batches. And in the time of recording our last on topic, and now I started and finished the story of Yakuza Kiwami. I still have a
Oh,
bunch of side
jeez.
content to do, so I'm not done with the game yet. I'm just doing all the side quests, and then I'm also streaming Dragon Quest III, the 2D remake for that, and it's been pretty good. A lot of it's I'm liking the game, but the enemy encounters are such utter ass. Oh my god, there's so many frustrations for me in that game. Holy shit! It all started with a fucking pyramid. Enemies that can attack twice in a round with an AoE fire breath attack that does high damage to my team, and there's multiple of that enemy in the spawn. Now I'm running into things. I'm running into normal enemies now with insta kill techniques.
Damn. Wait, why?
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting kind of close to I think I'm probably somewhere around 60 to 70% done with that game story. I don't know if I'll do its post game because its post game is basically just like, hey, grind up another 40 levels and then go take on these 3 dungeons. Oh, and if you want to be able to
Mhm.
have like 100% complete, you got to be this dungeon like 7 times and that dungeon like 2 times. Like, why?
Why indeed? Why indeed?
Yeah. And then as far as like personal games, I'm not really doing anything. I think at this point I've officially given up on Brothership. I just I lost my
Yeah.
interest in it, and I just have not had the interest to go back to it. I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14, but I'm not doing too much with my main character. Oh no,
Would you?
I've
Oh.
I've started something dangerous. I've started something very. I think I might have mentioned this before. I have started an alt for me to record the story with. Oh god.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I finished the story of the first of the base game. I'm currently doing a lot of side content in the patch era. Now I got to do the patch main story. I'm not gonna take a break and just start cutting it down and editing it. And well, we'll see
Yeah.
how long that's gonna take. I think I'm gonna do like just one episode a week for uploads because the main story ended at 25 episodes, so that'll take half a year to upload.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then I
Wow.
think the side content might just take that as well and be like, okay, I can take a break, and then later on in the year I can start recording the first expansion, which will be a lot faster because it's a lot less content compared to the base game.
So
Oh
you're
boy,
basically retreading all of your steps. You're
yeah,
revisiting every story beat. So you're gonna revisit like Ozma and all that.
yes, and Valkyrie, yes, I know that's what you wanted to ask.
Yeah, that guy
Yeah,
left an impression the one time that I met him.
yeah, I'm sure he did.
He did. It's not on every wiki that I want him to be on yet.
Hmm. No, I made a Vera for this character though. I made a design of like every race and gender, just to be like what I could create, and I had a few favorites. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go with my male bunny. I like how he looks, and then I can also use this opportunity to complain about how rabbits can't wear hats.
Mm-hmm.
Square Enix,
There you
we know the reason. You know the reason. You can fix it. You're just not.
go.
It's in how they designed some of the exclusive hairs for the Vera and the Hrothgar races.
Mm-hmm.
They just they're not set up to because basically hats like replace the hair in most cases,
Mm-hmm.
but the Vera hair isn't set up to do that. Which is like I struggle to think it would be that difficult. Granted, I'm not a coder, but I don't see why it would be hard.
No, no, it's just something they decided not to do.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, that's interesting, and I guess you also recently named every Pokemon with Way Off Trail.
Oh yeah, we were doing that just earlier today. Um, we both found a link to a website where you could just like here's every single Pokemon, or not. Here's like a blank Pokedex and name them all, and we got we were doing very well. We were starting to struggle probably at like what way I was struggling to struggle like around 3 or 400. I was struggling I think around 5 or 600. We brought in somebody else to help us get some more. And then when we had about I think it was 75-ish remaining, we started doing a feature where it's like, okay, you can click a button, it'll show you the silhouette of a Pokemon, and be like, okay, what is the silhouette? And then we just
Yeah.
took them from there. And it took 3 hours.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Nice. But you did it.
Mm-hmm.
All 1,025 of them.
Yep.
Mimikyu is proud.
It should be. Too bad it doesn't fit the heroes and villains theme.
Too bad indeed. I wonder what Flame Zone 17 would think.
Kavina.
If you're listening, our heart is yours. However it goes.
Is that what it is?
Ta-da!
Okay. Well, I think we've exhausted the catch up. So let's actually get into our topic of the day: boss
Get into our mustard.
battles. Smash said boss battles from the very beginning. The way that they classify what is a boss is actually kind of strange to me because obviously, Master Hand is boss fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if this is because I don't know why this, I don't know where the wiki got this, but the wiki is classifying that Metal Mario, Giant Donkey Kong, and the Fighting Polygon team are also boss fights. Now, Metal Mario, I understand. That one makes sense to me. I might call it a mini boss. Fighting Polygon team, I'll call it a mini boss. Giant Donkey Kong, no. I
Giant Donkey Kong.
I mean, I guess I kind of see it, I guess, but
Yeah.
but Melee kept Master Hand, then it brought in Crazy Hand and Giga Bowser for Classic Mode and Adventure Mode. We also had the Fighting Wireframes, the evolution of the Polygon team. Brawl came at us with Subspace Emissary, so they added in Petey Piranha, Rayquaza, Porky, Gallium, Ridley, and Meta Ridley, Dewon, Taboo, and the next version of the fighting team, the Alloys, which they were Captain Falcon, Mario, Kirby, and Zero Suit, I think. That's who they were based on. Because in the wireframes were Captain Falcon and Zelda.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, they were. Smash 4 just has Master Core and the Fighting Me team. And Master Core has like 4 or 5 forms. And then Ultimate's like, hey, here's Galeem, Darkon, Rathalos, Dracula, Ganon, and Marks. Oh, and also the Me team is back. Yeah. Because we couldn't come up with a new idea.
Yeah. They might even be back again.
And then strangely, the wiki doesn't classify the stage bosses as bosses. I don't know why. They're just listed as stage hazards. Which, sure, yes, they're hazards, but I think we can just call them bosses, like Yellow Devil, the Dark Emperor, Ridley.
Oh yeah,
and Metalface. For some reason, they're not being called bosses. And I don't know why. I don't know if where they're getting this information and they're compiling it there, but whatever.
Okay, and what a history.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things.
What a history. Yeah.
They're typically it's either classic mode, adventure mode, 100-man brawl, and the various single player modes, subspace and World of Lights, where all the bosses have been so far. Some of them have been pretty cool. Some of them are kind of dumb. Some of them are weird. Why is Rayquaza coming out of the lake?
Why does Master Core suck? Speaking of Master Core, it's to get that one out of the way.
Master Core, man. Okay, I like the basic idea. It's like, here's this shapeshifter thing. I don't like Master Fortress. And I
hate
don't
Master Fortress.
Yeah, I don't like when it's just the core itself. You're just like, okay, if we won, I'm gonna hit the core a few times, and if I don't, kill it fast enough, it's going to start doing taboos off waves at me. And I don't like that it starts off as like a Master Hand fight, and then like 2 seconds in, Master Hand unzips and turns into Master Course. Like, what? No.
Master Hand unzips. There's a fucking sentence.
Yeah, you just get the zipper on the
Yeah,
back of
yeah,
his
yeah.
hand, then he opens his hand.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, the thought that this monstrosity is inside of Master Hand was also disturbing to me. It's like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
It makes you wonder
It-
what would be Crazy Core?
yeah. Yeah. No one could ever know or fathom it. That's why it wasn't in Smash.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it was just too much. I think having the fortress and then having the core afterwards, it's a time sink. Oftentimes I'd find myself getting all the way to beating the crap out of the core and then like just not having enough time to knock it out.
Yeah.
And it would be very, very frustrating to then restart from the beginning of that boss fight. It's like I don't want to do this. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's really not.
Mm-hmm. That for me is like the like if we're singling something out, I think that was like kind of the sore spot for me with bosses in Smash. Otherwise, it's like they kind of just range from meh to okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, I
There's a
think
lot of okay, cool.
the
Yeah.
most meh is Dark Emperor, because what does it do? Nothing. It screams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Yellow Devil is just
Relatable.
a big annoyance.
Mm-hmm. True. True. Out of the stage bosses, I like Metal Face enough, I
Metal
suppose.
Face is the best stage
Pretty
boss,
fun.
easily.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ridley was
Ridley's
a
not bad.
tease in Smash 4. Yep. We all
Yeah,
know the story. It's like,
I
oh, Ridley. Oh, wait.
honestly, the only thing
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's really bad with the Ridley boss on Pyrosphere is that Sakurai teased us for so fucking long about if Ridley was playable or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was also maybe not right, but it
Yeah.
was righted, so whatever. Um, God. So yeah, I mean, I guess how do you want to approach this? Like from the top, like looking at the Smash 64 bosses and going on from there, or what?
I suppose we can do it that way.
Okay.
So, in that case, starting from the top brings us to Master Hand, the OG.
Yeah, it's you.
It's
You're
me.
Master Hand. The
Uh,
Master Hand of this broadcast.
yeah. Honestly, I think it's actually a really cool idea. A lot of times crossover fighting is will just create this. They'll either have like a unique boss, or they'll have like some kind of weird combined boss of things. Not often, not always. It really
Mhm.
depends. But like, I think Master Hand is like it's just like it's a Kirby boss. It later became a Kirby boss. It's just a floating severed hand that is doing these weird things. Sometimes it shoots lasers, sometimes it shoots out bullets. It can play playing cards and then make them fly up into the air so don't get carried away. It can rocket itself around. It's just solid, you know.
Yeah,
It's come
yeah,
back
yeah.
in every Smash game except for kind of Smash 4, which again, Master Core. Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
We got a little bit of lore about it in Gen 3. In Brawl, in Ultimate, we got little kinds of lore like how there's multiple Master Hands. In
Yeah,
Taboo
yeah, yeah.
captured one of them in Brawl, and then apparently they're like, I don't know if they're like Galeem soldiers or if Galeem then captured a whole race of them. And if they're a race, is there a race of Crazy Hands, or is Crazy Hand just like a fucked up Master Hand? What's Crazy Hands lore then? I don't know. What is this? What is the lore of
Oh
Master
boy.
and Crazy Hand?
Maybe we'll get a fanfic that'll answer all of this. Maybe it's already out there.
I mean, there is the fan. Well, kind of. Yeah.
Maybe we've written it.
Have we?
Soon enough, my friend. Yeah, Master Hand is the classic. You get that vision of him, first look at him rather, and the initial opening sequence that's so iconic to Smash 64, helping to bring the toys to life to fight, and it just recalls that childhood essence of like you fighting your action figures or with your action figures. Um, and also is like a cool callback to like tube animation gloves, like it's Mario, Luigi's gloves, it's Mickey Mouse's glove. It's just the classic um, animation. So like it fits into like this into the overarching. It's a good final boss, and I'm glad that he's maintained himself as kind of the de facto like it boss of every Smash game.
God, remember after Melee when people were just like, "Oh, what boss is Brawl going to give us? Master Foot?" I remember those days.
Me too. I was a Master Foot champion. It's like, yeah,
Ugh.
let's do it. Maybe
Also, I was just looking up some Master Hand stuff. So as we said, in Smash Four, it unzips and there's this dark Master Core shit. But then in Ultimate, Master Hands, the army of Master Hands unravels themselves to reveal this blue energy, which Galeem then uses to destroy all the fighters and turn them into trophies. So what is it? What's Master Hand? And then Darkon apparently has the army of Crazy Hands. What is this? I need lore.
it's yeah,
Uh,
file that under just like don't think
File
about
that
the lore
under
until the lore
Sakurai
happens.
doesn't give a shit about lore.
Yep. It's the Nintendo way, in a sense.
Every God, man, Giant Donkey Kong's the
um,
boss apparently.
Giant Donkey Kong. Well, the first time
It's
I thought it was interesting, ever that is.
I think the reason why I don't think of that one as a boss is because it just takes place on a normal stage. Whereas Metal Mario is
Yeah.
on the Metal Cave or Meta Crystal, and the Fighting Polygon team is on
Hmm.
Dual Zone or Battlefield.
Hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Giant Donkey Kong is just it's just Giant Donkey Kong on either Congo Jungle or Jungle Japes, depending on the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Good old giant Donkey Kong. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say there. It's Donkey Kong but giant.
Yeah. And then there's Metal Man or Metal Man. Mario but Metal. And then there's the Polygon team, which is just like all the characters, but there's just like designless polygon models. They're just fully
Hmm.
purple.
Kind of interesting to focus in on, and that's why I like the wireframes too. Jumping ahead, they focus in on the aspects of like just like the bones of the game design. It's like here's the polygons, like the basis of the skeletons in this like on the N64. So that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Is interesting. I like them in Race to the Finish and et cetera, et cetera. Metal Mario was fucking cool. Like even it's so obvious. I mean, it's so simple rather, but it's the music,
Yeah.
uh, the unique stage. It's all very ominous and badass when you when you fight him. So yeah, I have fond memories of that as a kid going through it. Like, whoa, this is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and wanting Metal Cave as a proper stage, which never happened.
It hasn't happened yet, no. Ultimate would have been a great time to do it.
Hmm. For sure.
But and speak actually no, I guess we'll get into that later. But then Melee introduced Crazy Hand that we kind of touched on briefly, where I don't think you ever fight Crazy Hand alone in the franchise. Except maybe I think there might be a battle in World of Light. I think you might fight Crazy Hand alone there. But otherwise he's like always paired with Master Hand.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be opposed. Oh, I guess there's also the Crazy Orders mode in Smash 4. It's not that anybody ever played that for much at all. But oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Uh yeah, he's just like it's Master Hand's design again. It's just a hand, but it was like wilder moments to be like, oh, it's Crazy Hand,
Yeah.
and it's like
Right.
different attacks, and he has like there are some attacks that like he'll do as a combo with Master Hand, but it's an interesting idea having this another hand. It's just like here's a whole different set of attacks, and they got to dodge both of them at once. It's like okay,
Yeah. Yeah. I love the idea of Crazy Hand being introduced in Melee. Um, and, my first encounter again, like if you don't know, if you just go into it blind, like I think so many of us did, without a game guide or anything, and he just appears, you're like, whoa, what the hell is going on?
Yep.
It was a massive surprise, and yeah, again, just talking about the cool factor. Sakurai knows this way around like a dynamic moment, an introduction, and that was certainly one of them in Melee. And yeah, he's an interesting, seeing Master Hand is like the measured, um, not predictable, but almost comforting presence. It's like you expect him to be there every time. And Crazy Hand is like the antecedent of that. Like you said, oh yeah, um, it's fun. I enjoy that fight, and at this point, it's become uh, a classic of the series.
Yeah. I also just checked. Apparently, he is playable solo in Brawl's boss battles mode as well.
Okay.
But then Melee also gave us Giga Bowser, which you only fight during certain conditions in it at the end of its adventure mode, and it basically just looked like bigger, a little bit more monstrous Bowser. He's had like a few redesigns throughout the series of that after that point, becoming a Final Smash in Brawl and Smash 4, and then being a Final Smash and a boss in Ultimate.
Hmm.
And we gave him like some
Yeah,
elemental different attacks.
crazy. It's just like again, just it's an unpredictable idea, and one that was well enjoyed in that era.
Yeah.
Um, Now, yeah, I'm into it. Some people now that 3D world Bowser's Fury, they're like, oh, Fury Bowser can fill the same spot. So yeah, true, but why? Giga
Yeah.
Bowser fills a niche now that it's an established thing.
If Giga Bowser didn't exist, I think Fury Bowser would make a cool Final Smash for Bowser. And
Hmm.
honestly, like if I was making a Bowser moveset, that's probably what I would do. Because you know how I like to pull from existing material more often than not, and Fury Bowser's just like, yeah, fucking have him be in the background and just do the same thing or the same similar concept of what he does for his Final Smash and Ultimate. Maybe
Hmm.
it's a giant
Hmm.
fireball instead. I don't fucking know. But
Right.
Giga Bowser is just like kind of like Captain Falcon is essentially a Smash character at this point. Giga Bowser
Yeah.
is actually officially classified as a Smash Brothers character. It's just
Yeah.
like that's what we're gonna get, period.
Hasn't appeared in anything else. Looks pretty cool. Like I like the design. It's not that different from regular Bowser, but they go on the extreme with it's kind of it, like the horns are just way exaggerated. The hair, he's like a it's almost like anime, like almost like a Super Saiyan thing, but bad.
But
Like evil Goku
apparently,
Bowser.
I'm finding here that Sakurai, as far as like at least the melee interpretation of Giga Bowser is confirmed, Sakurai considers that version a different character than regular Bowser, which is weird because don't we see his transformation go from Bowser to Giga Bowser in melee?
Yeah, I was looking that up just now because I remember this vaguely. The final event match, the showdown, you're fighting Giga Bowser alongside Ganaga from Mewtwo. So the beginning of that is Bowser's trophy is there, then it gets struck by lightning and becomes Giga Bowser.
Yeah. And I want to say like the adventure mode, it starts out fighting Bowser, you beat him, and then like Giga Bowser comes in.
Yeah, odd, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and again, just going into these earlier titles, it's interesting to reflect on. Like, yeah, the character is just kind of Smash established now. It's a given,
Yeah.
but way back in the day, over fucking 20 years ago at this point, that was crazy.
Oh
Like
yeah.
encountering that for the first time in the event match or whatever, it's like, what the hell is this? Like, oh my gosh.
Cool though.
And who?
Cool though.
Yeah, cool though.
And then the last thing from melee is the Polygon team got retired. replaced with the wireframes, which design-wise, I think were a lot cooler looking. Um, I kind of wish they weren't just like a
Great.
solid wireframe because they're clearly a
Hmm.
solid model. But the downgrade though is that we go from having a polygon of every character to Cat Falcon and Zelda, and that's it. It's just male and female wireframe, and they are based on those two characters, but
Hmm.
with a lot less of their stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. Like Melee was like, well, I played some of Smash 4. Melee was like really the Smash game I played a
Yeah.
lot, so I have connections to them with that. But otherwise, like they're kind of it's a bit of a
Yeah.
downgrade.
Yeah. The
Visually, I
way they
like them
look
more,
is
but
really cool.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 I didn't think of it much as a kid, but reflecting on it now, it is a downgrade.
yeah,
It's bizarre that they went in that direction. I guess it's probably just development crunch time.
yeah,
Yeah. Fine enough though. At least it looked neat.
yep. But then we get to Brawl, which I guess I'm gonna scroll go down. Actually, no, I guess we'll start from the top with that too. Uh, Subspace Emissary brought us a lot of boss fights that are all
Hmm.
part of its mode, and you can fight them in boss battles, and those are the only places you can fight them. Petey Piranha is our first introduction to it. Why he's swinging around cages that have Peach and Zelda in them, I don't know. Like that seems weird. What's going? Why? But and I don't know. Like you've played Sunshine, I haven't. At least I think you have. And
Hmm.
Petey doesn't really do much in his boss fight, and none of it, except for maybe one attack, I don't know, is actually out of Sunshine because he can jump really high, he can roar, and he can swing the cages. That's
Hmm.
all he does
Yeah.
in
If it
Brawl.
was if it was more like Sunshine, there would be a lot more goop.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um. Again, like in many, many, many ways, the Subspace Cemetery was the pinnacle of Hyper Smash for anyone who lived through it that was a Smash fan at the time. Um. I think it's only to be challenged by everyone is here. Um. In terms of just hype scale, I still like hope for something more like that in the future. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but at the time it was really novel. So that's where we kind of get these different interpretations of the character. Like Sakura was like, okay, let's have the princesses kidnapped because that's an original idea that we can include. Woohoo! And then yes, Petey Piranha can carry cages, and you can the cage that you attack the most frees up that princess for you to use earlier in Subspace Emissary.
I
Wow,
do like that though.
how interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's bizarre, and I it's nostalgic from a Smash perspective. But I mean, if I were to have PD in there again, I would obviously. I mean, I'd redo it to be more canonical to the
Yeah,
source material.
I mean, I
Because
did
PD,
years
I
ago
mean,
on Smashtopia.
yeah, yeah, PD essentially. I mean, he's this giant baby. Like he doesn't have the intent. He's literally a child. He doesn't have the intent to, or probably not even the brain capacity to kidnap anyone like he did in Subspace.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I it's one of those characters. I'm really fond towards this character. Like, I wouldn't mind him being playable. It would be weird at this point because he's kind of not the child of the hour anymore. But I wouldn't be against it. Like,
I mean, he's in Piranha
let's
Plant's Final Smash.
yeah, which is weird. Let's do this. Uh, CGI, opening cutscene introduction character thing. Piranha Plant gets watered and becomes Petey Piranha. Whoa!
So
There
like the
you go.
theory where Pichu evolved with Pikachu and the old Pikachu is actually gone.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happens to the final smash after that, but they'll figure it out.
Uh, Goop,
Yeah. Yeah.
Goop Rain.
Giga Petey Piranha. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
That or just for some
Yeah.
reason it's his special move from Mario Strikers.
There you go. I don't even know what that is, but I trust
Me either.
it.
But yeah, Brawl Subspace Series bosses are they're a mixed bag, that's for sure. And like the next one is Rayquaza,
Mm-hmm.
who attacks wise is certainly better, but it's also really weird when Rayquaza is doing things like flying out of a lake for his intro. Rayquaza's the fucking sky Pokemon. What the fuck? And then some of his attacks are digging into the ground. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand why Rayquaza is being made to work like this.
Yeah, I love the idea of Rayquaza being in the game, but yeah, it's I mean again, just looking at it canonically, it's bizarre, especially since the whole thing of like his inclusion in Emerald was like, oh, Rayquaza's the sky legendary,
Yeah.
and it's very sky oriented. It's like okay, so
Instead,
I don't
Brawl is
know what he's
having
doing.
him just fly, shoot lightning, swing his tail, roar, and dig and
Yeah,
explode. It's like, okay, this is really weird.
yeah, yeah. And in hindsight, yeah, it is. I mean, I would have had him, swinging in with Dragon Claw, or flying in through the side of the stage, or summoning a Tempest Tornado thing, or whatever.
Yeah.
Not yeah,
I
but
think it
yeah.
would have been better to have him like be a boss up in the sky where Pit
Mm-hmm.
is, and Pit has to fight
Mm-hmm.
off Rayquaza instead of the
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, and what it was Pokemon Trainer, and then like Donkey Kong and Fox or something like that.
Diddy Kong, I think.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Actually, no, that's right. It wasn't
All
Pokemon
right.
Trainer. It was Diddy Kong and Fox. This the screenshot I was looking at had Charizard for some reason.
Okay.
Pokemon Trainer wasn't even unlocked at that point in the story.
No, that's later on. I remember now with
Yeah,
Lucas. Mm-hmm.
I did like just a bit off topic here. I did like that in Super Necessary. Pokemon Trainer had to like unlock their different Pokemon. Like he didn't start out with Charizard. He might have had both Squirtle and Ivysaur at the start, but he had to get to a certain point to get Charizard. I was like, oh, I liked that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Felt true to the source.
Yeah. But here's what I think is better for the source, and I don't know. You might be able to say more because I think you've played this game and I have not. Porky, primarily based off of his Mother 3 appearance, where he's in the spider mech. Because I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's in Earthbound. If it is, it doesn't look like that. I don't remember. It's been a while. But Porky, he
um.
can have his Spider Mech like crawl around, shoot energy rays, summon the Porky robots, and then they'll chase you and explode.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think that was a boss fight that I think I struggled with on the first time I fought him. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I think the Porky Walker. Yeah, it was a good boss fight. Yeah, it's very a lot of those moves are taken straight from the game. So I haven't played it, but I've heard as much through TurboTaxer, who's very if you didn't know that about TurboTaxer, he's very invested in Mother. and
Really?
knows
Wow.
Yeah, knows quite a bit about these characters. So yeah, he was very pleased with Porky and Brawl. Yeah, it's a really cool boss battle, and kind of like one of the darker points of Subspace Emissary, where it's like, oh, uh, well, shit.
The
Like,
Spider Mech is
yeah.
in. Well, the basic Spider Mech is in Earthbound, but the mech we
Hmm.
know him from in Smash is Mother 3 only.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's cool. It's a great fight.
And that's when we have Lucas and the Pokemon trainer. It's like, okay, we're
Hmm.
here.
Yeah, the Pokemon trainer has like a big brother kind of relationship with Lucas, which was fun.
Yeah.
Cute and sad watching Ness be ganked by Wario with that negative laser thing.
Well.
Yeah,
Interestingly though, that's not the only boss that Pokemon trainer and Lucas have to fight against together. There's also Gallium.
interesting.
Gallium is an original character. It's just this giant robot that could like transforming like a tank like mode, and it had a variety of attacks. Like this thing, I mean, it basically just like some punches and jumps, a layered attack, shooting missiles, but
Hmm.
it still had like decent variety compared to like fucking Petey Piranha. It's like, okay, this
Yeah,
thing can kick your ass a little bit if you're not prepared.
and is he the one that came back in
Yeah,
Ultimate? Yeah,
yeah, he came
yeah,
back in
he is.
Ultimate. The other original character did not.
That's interesting, isn't it? Um, of the two, just design wise, I mean, if I were just going off of that, I'd be like, yeah, Gallium's the one. But
Yeah, honestly, I do think that's a cool design.
He almost looks like a Donkey Kong character in a way,
You know, I
like
see
a
that. I see
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It's Mecha
kind
Kong.
of kind of like yeah, Mecha. That tickles a part of my brain that didn't know I existed.
Oh god, that's scary. I'm also
Mecha
seeing here
Kong,
that uh, next to Master Hand, Gallium is the most common boss in Ultimate's classic mode.
also weird.
Yeah,
Something I didn't think of.
8 characters fight him.
Mm. I wonder who they are.
Well, probably Snake and Cloud.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Probably so. I would have guessed Snake. Yep. Diddy Kong, Pichu.
Pichu. I mean, he might. I don't fucking remember.
I,
That just
I
seems
don't.
like a random one.
Yeah,
A lot
that
of
was about
we talked about it
all there was
before
to it.
in our classic mid episode, but like some of the ones who like fight these bosses, just like you're an odd choice to be fighting this. The ones that fight
Yeah.
Gallium are Dark Pit, Snake, Rob, Wolf, King K. Rool, Min Min, and Mega Man.
Okay. Some of those I can see because it's the mech thing. Snake, Mega Man doesn't surprise me.
What does
But
Cloud
like,
fight? Cloud just fights Master Hand regular? The fuck?
weird. King K. Rool fights him because he's Mecha Kong.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Gallium's cool. Like I like the tank form and the it's pretty at the again like at the time with Brawl it was a pretty involved boss fight. It was cool.
Yeah.
But someone could raise the argument like, why do we have these like two random ass original bosses when we could have pulled more? Like, oh, this if you raise the argument that Gallium could have been Pig Ganon, I was like, yeah, okay, but taking it on its own, pretty fine. It's cool. I have nothing against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll skip ahead to the other unique one, Duon, which was a dual boss. A front one hat that like is primarily on shooting projectiles. The other one that is well has a sword on its head and a sword for arms. So that tells you something. Rotates,
Yeah.
shoots bombs and homing bombs, a beam attack, and then just basically do a bunch of slashes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely the
I
least
remember
cool of
you.
the two.
Yeah. I agree. I remember fighting this on it was a halberd boss with like Snake and Meta Knight or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of difficult for me at first, using those particular characters against Duon. Like I mean I guess Sakurai did a good job introducing bosses with characters that would produce a pretty balanced challenge for it. Like you mentioned Porky being a little difficult for you first
Yeah.
try.
I think Duon
Um
was too, because it was like, okay, you came at me fast.
mhm. Yeah. So it's a kind of a messy design. I think it's kind of cheesy. Like it doesn't look great if you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the time, again, it was like, whoa, as a kid playing Smash, I was like, whoa, this is badass. I'm fighting this thing. Whoa,
Yep.
that was about it. Yeah.
Then we got a duo here. We got Ridley and Meta Ridley. Ridley
Hmm.
was originally fought in the research facility area against Samus and Pikachu. And then later on, he would come back as Meta Ridley, and he attacks the Falcon Flyer. And so you're fighting him as
Hmm.
you're trying to ride the safety, and you've got like Rob, Captain Falcon, Donkey Diddy, Pikachu, Samus, and Olimar off on that. And it's like, hey,
Hmm.
fuck you, I'm here still.
Yeah. fighting Meta Ridley as Olimar is a certain kind of hell that I remember too. Yeah, I don't know about you. I thought this was a pretty, especially Mecha Ridley's return after the whole Rob sequence, the big reveal, in Subspace Cemetery was pretty neat, like pretty darn cool.
I just flashed back to after Rob was revealed as a playable character, before we knew about identity stuff. There's a person that, or no, before Rob got revealed, actually, people took like the image of the ancient minister and they drew Rob over him. It's like, hey guys, I think this is Rob. They're just like, what? You're crazy. You bitch, you were right. Who I don't know who the hell you were way back then, but you were right.
They were right. They
Yeah.
were right.
But personally
Yeah,
though,
it's
with Ridley and Meta Ridley, I think would have been I would have been okay if it was just Meta Ridley.
hmm
Because I think the
yeah,
second fight is a lot cooler than the first.
I don't really remember the first fight, honestly. I mean, I remember Ridley like stalking Samus and Pikachu, which is like, okay, it's
Which was admittedly
classic.
cool. But
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you got that fulfillment too from Ridley's playable character reveal trailer on Ultimate, killing
oh yeah.
Mario and Mega Man. Like, good lord.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, those are off topic, but those are real trailers are strangely brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, what the
Uh,
hell?
the fucking Luigi in the Castlevania one, like, okay, God,
Yeah.
nightmares. Yeah, the Meta Ridley one was really cool though, like him smashing against the Falcon Flyer the whole time. It's menacing,
Yeah.
like real a really cool set piece. I enjoy that. I maybe that's my favorite boss of Subspace Emissary. Looking back, I don't know.
I don't really know what I would say is my favorite one.
I
Eh.
think it's definitely like the most interesting like stage setting. Like the escape is an interesting place for a boss fight.
Yeah.
hmm
But then we have the big bad of Subspace Emissary, Tabu's boss fight, which say what you will about the blue butterfly man himself. Uh, it was a good boss fight.
Sure.
The only thing I don't like is the off whip, which was just felt like overly punishing. Everything else was like,
hmm
no, this is fucking good. It kicks Master Core's ass.
Yep. Yep.
Like there was
What
just like
was?
a lot of good attacks here. He did not let up on the pressure very often.
hmm
He had a good variety of things he could do. It was a good fight.
Yeah. Yeah. For all the shit that we gave someone on the internet as kids, probably due to peer pressure of everyone else being like, "Yeah, you like Taboo, ha ha." Ha." It's actually, yeah, I agree. It wasn't a bad fight. I was really into it. Again, like I was so into the idea of this mysterious dude you don't really know, just being there at the end. I was like, okay. I mean, as a kid, that worked. I was like, this is badass, and having to fight him is badass.
Yeah.
Um, you have all of these other you have these questions growing up. You're like, why? Who is taboo? Why is taboo? When is taboo? How is taboo? But erase all that and just take it for what it is, like the comic filler. It's a great boss fight, and he looks weird. I don't know where, we have no idea where he came from. He's just fucking there for some reason,
Yeah.
um, pulling the strings of the X and Y for. I don't know why he did all
Captured
of
the
what he
Master
did.
Hand and is controlling it, using it to give Ganondorf orders. Uh,
Yeah, for some reason. Yeah. And Sonic knew everything.
well,
He knew all
he
this.
Sonic didn't know everything. Sonic just appeared. Day to Day knew everything.
Yeah.
Day to Day was just
I
like,
love that for him.
I hate this. I'm going to plot
Yep.
against it. It's like, okay.
Best best subplot in that entire thing.
Yeah, it's too bad some of it got left on the cutting room floor.
hmm But yeah, I have nothing against Taboo in hindsight. It was the beginning of a series of like you're like, oh, the lore. This is where we're first going to get into it. It's like I wish there were more of that.
Yes,
But
give
take
me
it for what it
lore.
is. It's like, okay, fine, good. You know, it's an arcade fighting game. That's appropriate. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Taboo is no better than is it, or rather, he is better than like Seth in Street Fighter.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then the last couple things that we have here for Brawl is the Fighting Alloy team, which is not really much to talk about. It's basically the Wireframes 2.0, because instead of just Captain Falcon and Zelda, now it's also Mario and Kirby. It's not Zero Suit, by the way. I did just check on that. And then we also have what's called the false characters, which is subspace similar stuff, which is like, oh, here's Shadow Bug Diddy Kong. Those don't count. We're not, no, that's just the character. Fuck off. But the alloys were, again, it's Wireframes 2.0. Nothing really to write home about. You're muted.
No, there's less cool. There are less cool looking wireframes, but there at least there's more of them.
Yeah. I like how they take a little bit of liberties with the designs, though. Like,
Hmm.
giving, like, the red one has, like, the wide shoulders. Kirby's got, like, a little mohawk on him. Mario's got fucking Meteos horns. It's got Geolite
I was gonna
horns.
say, yeah, yeah.
And then Zelda
This
has,
was
like, a
around the
long
time.
ponytail.
Yeah, this was around the time Sakurai developed media, so maybe there was some cross pollination there.
I mean, I think he probably took the Mario one's design and turned it into Geolite.
Yeah, yeah, could easily be.
And then Smash 4 has Master Core I think we kind of already
Ah,
covered. And then the
thank
Fighting
God.
Me team, which was the new
Hmm.
evolution from the alloys, and like I'll say this here. I think for Smash 4, it was totally cool. It was like, okay, yeah, like we gave us the Me fighters, having them turn into the fighting team. Makes a lot of sense. I don't
Yeah,
like that they were the team again for Ultimate. It just felt like we
I
lost some
agree.
coolness there. I think it was either that or losing the mode, probably. But it
Yeah.
definitely felt sad to me because it's
Hmm.
just like three characters doing all the stuff.
Hmm.
Like, yeah,
If we had new me fighter types to include in this, it would be maybe a different story. It'd be like, oh,
yeah.
now that we have the me lumberjack and the me uh, shopkeeper in this game, then we can include them in the fighting team.
I'd agree with that, honestly. Not necessarily those two
Yeah.
inclusions, but concept wise, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that might be what we get in the next match. Honestly, as long as me's are a thing, and with Switch 2 having the same, I'm sure a similar UI and having the me's come back. I'm sure they'll be in Mario Kart 9. I'm sure that they'll be the fighting team in Smash 6
Assuming
or
the Switch
whatever.
2 brings back Mii's. We don't know yet.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, we know some things like they're carrying over NSO, like all the virtual game apps are going to be transferred over and stuff like that. So that's where I'm kind of like just assuming. But yeah, you're right.
But they may just be
Yeah.
like shoved in a sub menu again.
Hmm. Shoved in a sub menu and then given weird prominence in Smash anyway.
Yep.
And then like, hey guys, it's Miitopia 2. Here's how you find the meme maker.
Miitopia
Here
2
you
with a lot more classes that are just weird and out there. The Mii
go.
Zookeeper. It's because we don't
Like,
want to have like we can't have like a monster team or a beast master. That just sounds cruel. So we have the
mhm.
Zookeeper,
Yeah,
but they still have a whip.
there you go. Be a Craven me, the official crossover with the
Ugh,
Sony Marvel Universe.
no. Moving on. Ultimate. Ultimate brought in a bunch of new bosses again because we got a story mode. It starts off with Galeem and Darkon, which are these very conceptual things. Galeem looks like a whole bunch of metallic holy wings. Darkon is like dark spiky tentacles.
Yeah,
And they both have,
yeah,
well, Darkon has a giant eyeball. Galeem just has an orb. They have some similarities
yeah.
with their attacks, but beyond that, they're very amorphous. And I kind of
Hmm.
like it, and I want to know more about them.
Yeah, it's almost this biblical thing. Like they're like biblically accurate angels fighting each other. Also like again, like you can see kind of the Kid Icarus uprising influence with the development of these boss designs. It's like they kind of feel like they would fit into that world to me. Um, Galeem also looks like the Philippines flag. So there's that. Darkon, Darkon looks kind of like some sort of eldritch mesh from the Reset Bomb Forest. I think that that's a very kind of like uprising esque design in a way. In a way, at least it would fit. Yeah, I like both of these. I like both of these characters. The whole like turn from light to dark, and having the this whole Darkon themed map to explore after defeating Galeem in the World of Light. Like that's another like holy shit moment if you don't know about it going into it. Um, so that was cool, and then it gave us one of the greatest gifts. Where you in that lead up to fighting Darkon, I think it is, where you play as Master Hand.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like,
so bad that like you
ooh,
don't ever get to replay. Like there's no like if you do that level again, you don't get to redo the Master Hand fight. It's just like that's a
hmm
one and done. It's like why?
yeah. At least let there be like a toggle you can hit in extras or something where you can replay it.
Yes.
hmm But yeah,
The
I
other
don't know.
cool thing
Like
with
again,
Darkon is that
hmm
in Ultimate leading up to Ultimate's release, we knew about Galeem, we knew about the World of Light, but nothing of Darkon or the World of Darkness or the Final World was shown off pre-release. Nothing. That came out of nowhere. It's like, oh shit, there's more. Oh
hmm
my god. Which really we all should have known because like, I don't have all the characters unlocked. That's weird.
hmm
Oh well.
yeah, yeah. But then also like having Galeem and Darkon go to war with each other with the Master Hands and the Crazy Hands, um, involving that final fight between both Galeem and Darkon and you as like all these separate entities fighting each other.
Yes.
Like,
That
oh
was
my
so
god.
cool. That fight took me a few tries to complete. And I think I actually like
hmm
had to change which three characters I was using a couple times. But having to fight Galeem and Dark at the same time was so fun.
Definitely, definitely, yeah. They executed it very well. It was such a breath of fresh air coming off of Smash Four, with its bitch ass modes, like Master Orders and Crazy Orders. Next,
Yeah.
Smash Tour. Next, Smash Run. I wish you stayed.
Yeah.
I wish you stayed Smash Run, but everything else, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, they were really cool. They were really cool, and I conceptually, I don't have a hankering to replay World of Light, but and I don't necessarily want to retread something similar in the next game. For what it was great. It was great.
I've been doing randomizers lately. Uh
hmm
for different games like where you can combine different people's games together. And I was just thought like I don't know how they would do sort of if it's even possible right now with Switch stuff. But like doing a randomized World of Light where all the spirits are in different locations, all the characters are in different
Oh my
locations.
god.
Your
Yeah.
starting character could even be different from Kirby. I think that'd be a really fun thing to do.
hmm
Maybe I think the skill tree would kind of stay on the same point, or maybe you could do a thing where it's like you would to instead of getting points with the skill tree, you just like unlock abilities through different things. That
Yeah.
could be a fun new way to play World of Light. Either that or my brother and I at Thanksgiving we were just bored and we didn't want to do other
hmm
things, so I just booted up World of Light, started a new file. I was like, all right, we're gonna alternate fighting because what the hell else are we gonna do?
Yeah. Neat.
Uh, but
Yeah.
then But then Ultimate also brought back six or not brought back it also had like six additional bosses that were both in World of Light and in classic mode. Two of them were brought back from Brawl, being Giga Bowser and well, not from Brawl, I guess. Giga Bowser from Melee and Galleon from Brawl, which the two of them both worked under Galeem. And then they also had Rathalos, which was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Because we got Rathalos as a boss from Monster Hunter, but no other Monster Hunter content, no stage, no character. Um, Obviously there's music during that fight. I can't remember that music. If you can do that music anywhere else, I don't remember. I was like,
I don't
what?
know.
That game was
Yeah.
a huge
Yeah.
surprise, and
Yeah.
he's an asshole.
Yes. I think yeah, and it was at this time that you and I kind of developed the idea that still think is true. You don't need Monster Hunter as a character in Smash, you
No,
just need the monster. The monster as the boss is brilliant. Good work.
yeah,
It was great. It's really it was crazy seeing that thing fly in and having to fight it, and like the big like open Monster Hunter like exclusive boss stage thing.
Yeah,
That was
it
it's really neat.
Rathalos, a bit of an off topic here. Rathalos' inclusion in the base game as a boss is part of why I kind of question the rumors about how Monster Hunter was being worked on as a DLC character and then got replaced with Byleth.
Hmm.
I would not be surprised if there was something going on behind the scenes, but I don't know if it's Monster Hunter because you'd think if Monster Hunter was going to be in the game, he would have been in base game with Rathalos. Kind of weird that they would have added him as DLC afterwards, or added them rather, I should say. They never made
Yeah.
much sense to me.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a fair point. But take
And
the
then
thing as it is. It's great.
a smaller version of him was also an assist trophy. It's like, what? Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
Break that
I'm fine
barrier
with that.
down. All right, so now when can we
Hmm.
get Mario as an assist trophy? Right?
Yeah.
Why
Maybe
not?
it'll be false character Mario.
I mean, hey, when we did our Pokeball Palooza episode, I made a Pokeball out of Pikachu.
You did. Yeah, you did. Some of us didn't include Mario altogether in recent episodes.
Yeah, you did not. I wonder what was up with that. Uh, then in the World of Darkness, Darkon's three bosses, we got Dracula. So both sides had a third party character, but Dracula. The difference here is Simon and Richter are in Smash Ultimate as playable characters in the base roster, and then we have Dracula who pulls from I think it's just Symphony of the Night is what he's primarily based off of. You start off
Hmm.
with human form Dracula, then he goes into his demon form,
Hmm.
and like you could only like I think the demon form you could hit anywhere, but the human form can only be damaged if you hit the head, mirroring how he
Yeah.
works in Castlevania.
Hmm.
And I think his attacks just come straight from those games. I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They're all Symphony of the Night, and I guess technically also like other games, but he has all of them in Symphony
Hmm.
specifically. Hmm.
That was a pretty good boss
Um,
fight. It's annoying that I can only hit
yeah.
the head, but whatever.
Except Bat Rush was only in Portrait of Ruin, really? Okay, interesting.
Hmm.
Um, I guess well, Alucard has Bat Rush, so whatever. Um, yeah, I really really enjoyed this fight. Like one thing they got right, they got the tone of Castlevania so right in Ultimate. Um, Dracula's boss fight especially. Like the stage is a little awkward, but it
Yeah.
looks great. Like it's excellent aesthetically. The music selection is nuts. They really went all out there. Um, and yeah, the boss fight. I mean, Simon and Richter work as they should, and the boss fight is great. The
Yeah.
boss fight is great. I really, yeah, it's as a longtime fan of that series and wanting a Belmont in for quite a while. This was serious, like wish fulfillment. It's really cool.
Uh,
Yeah,
it, then after that, we've got Ganon, not Ganondorf, but Ocarina of Time Bestial Pig Ganon as a boss for
crazy,
Darkon.
crazy,
Uh,
crazy.
which yeah, it's kind of a mirror to Giga Bowser. I think that's why he was chosen.
Hmm.
It's pretty good. But honestly, I think of the bosses in Ultimate, this is my least favorite because you can only attack his tail. His tail's the only part you can damage. And,
Hmm.
unlike Dracula, whose head I can always reach, the tail I can only hit him from behind. And he has this really annoying habit to, oh, you jump behind me? Here, let me immediately just like flip. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, asshole. And it's also harder to
yeah,
jump over him. It's like, listen here, you little bitch.
yeah. Yeah, the sword attacks that he has are very wide sweeping.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to get vertically over him, it's very difficult. So I see that. Like again, it's another one of the, they do so well in Ultimate just with they don't fulfill every wish, but where they do, they hit it right on the head. Like again, like having Ganon's fight be that final ring from Ocarina of Time, having the music, the stage setting is immaculate, and it's really cool to see and experience. But yeah, I mean, from the technical standpoint, it probably is the biggest SOB to actually fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then
Well,
lastly, at least as far as like main bosses and stage bosses, really, one that like both excited us and disappointed us, Marks, because like holy shit, yes, this is great. Fuck, he's not
hmm
playable.
yeah, I could
But
forgive it in Ultimate because a lot wasn't playable.
yeah,
But
like Marks is so eldritch. My
yeah, for
God.
sure. Yeah, this is a thing that Kirby returns to again and again. It's like, oh, I have a new friend who turns out to be evil and wants to take over the world. Yay!
And they often become
But
these demonic entities.
yep, and then afterwards they become Kirby's friend again. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, um,
Eh.
yeah, I love that they had marks in the game. I mean, the boss fight, and it, it creates this debacle in my mind. I know you can have both, like Marks is a boss in one game and then playable the next. But it's like if we had one, it's like, am I content just saying, yeah, Marks was a great boss? Kinda, because it's like the boss fight is so iconic to Kirby. It's the boss, like from series wide, pretty much inarguably. And Sakurai, of course, he created Marks. He knows what to do. He did it really, 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 really well.
Yep.
So I really dug it. I would love Marks to be playable still. I think that there's a good chance. Um, don't know, against Megalor or some others like where that'll land, but again, boss fight, freaking awesome,
Yeah.
like so cool, like
Yeah.
so cool.
And then just do a quick run through because there's the four stage bosses of Yellow Devil, Metal Face, Clone Ridley, and the Dark Emperor, which they do
hmm
various effects. Yellow Devil just like appears and splits his body, which is kind of what he does in Mega Man, so it's whatever. I feel like he just appears way too often on that stage. Dark Emperor can do things based on like what your primary color is.
Which is
And destroy
weird.
like he can crowd reflections to like cause a platform to disappear. There's a roar attack. Meh. The Ridley, uh, I don't remember all the things he can do, but I know like he'll actually like attack a stage. He'll like thrust his tail up through it. Does claw attacks across
hmm
of it. The Metal Face like it just feels like the best of them, where he has like, basically claw attacks, but the stage feels like it's more like properly built to have a boss.
hmm
Unlike Yellow Devil,
hmm
who takes like a fucking third of the goddamn stage. Like
Yeah,
that's
you can avoid
too
Metal Face
much.
if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yellow Devil can go fuck himself. Um, the Yeah. So and also the other big news, this isn't even a boss, but the bird man whose name I forget in Rage
Flying
Against
Man.
the
Oh
Machine.
yeah,
Yeah, Flying Man. Flying Man's pretty intense sometimes. Um, not here nor there. But yeah, Yellow Man can Yellow Man Yellow Devil can get out. It's yeah, it appears way too often. Um Metal Face is the best, I agree. Clone Ridley, Other M is lucky to be at the table. Like it's just a product of the time. It's there. And Dark Lord, or whatever it was called, forgetting.
Dark Emperor.
Uh, Dark Emperor. He's there. It's
Yep.
it's kind of inconsequential. It's a minor thing on the stage, but I mean the biggest thing is like finally got a stage. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm not opposed to how like the stage is laid out. I just think he's kind of a worthless addition. I think there's other things that
hmm
they could have done.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right, so that's all the bosses in Smash currently as is. So I think first of all, I want to go into one of these bosses has been turned into a playable character, Ridley. If you could choose
hmm
one other boss to make it into a playable character in Smash, who are you choosing?
I'm going over the list really quick because I have an immediate answer, but I don't want to kick myself. Yeah, Marks.
Yeah,
It's
that was
Marks.
the obvious answer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the obvious. If you gave me a number two, it'd be a little more difficult because then these guys are more on the same playing field.
Number two
Um,
is Porky.
oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, our opinions are like probably not going to veer for quite some time down this
Nah.
list. Let's see
Number
who
three is
would be number
Dracula.
three.
Dracula.
Yes. Yep. Number 4, Speedy.
No, Ganon.
Oh, I would agree, but I would want it to be A Link to the Past canon.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think canon at that point would be like a natural number 5 because after that it's like what playable Rathalos. Okay,
No, number 5 is actually really obvious. I don't know how you're not thinking about it. It's Master Core.
yeah, fuck. What a build up! It just perfectly teed up for that shit. Jesus, and then it's giant Donkey Kong.
Yes.
And we can
Yes.
replace the regular Donkey Kong with Classic Kong, kind of like in Mario Kart 9.
God, I want them to tell us what the name of that is. What's going on there? Why is DK different? They've also changed DK's design like other official artwork on the website. It's
I
like,
saw that.
okay,
At first, I was getting cheeky, and I was like, "That might be DK Junior as a grown adult." Except now they're changing it across
Yep.
Club Nintendo stuff with just regular DK, and people are like, "He doesn't look that different," and I'm like, "He does. What are
He
you talking about? He
so looks different.
he looks very different." They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, all they did was like widen his eyes." I'm like, "No, no, he's not quite movie DK. He's not quite classic DK, but he's like this amalgamation of both
Yeah.
of those things."
Like I'm
And it's
sure I'll get
very
used
different
to
from
it,
country.
but
Yeah,
as it stands right now, I don't know, man. Not a fan.
yeah. I'm for I'm for change generally and testing new waters, but it's bold. It is bold, and
Yeah.
it is yeah, because like there's nothing wrong with the Donkey Kong Country design. What are they gonna do? Like have this new weird design for all the Mario games, and then have a country for country, or what?
Probably.
Like
Honestly.
it's also bizarre that they had this big push for DK recently with like the returns port and some other shit come up like the Donkey Kong Land stuff on NSO and all this stuff using this country design, and they're like, "Hey, look at this."
Yeah.
It's very intentional. It feels like.
And the design for I don't matter what you said it. Super Nintendo World, it's the country DK. So it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
this had to be like
yeah,
a very very recent thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm surprised that they're changing all the official artwork before they test the waters with the Mario Kart design. Like I would have let Mario Kart release first, see what people think, and then decide if you want to go for the full redesign or not. But hey,
yeah.
I don't
It
work
could.
at Nintendo marketing. What do I know?
They need to take a page out of Activision's book for once, and then when there's blowback against it, they have a proper Donkey Kong releases DLC. Correct
Victrolaroo.
DK.
Ah, man.
Fixed
The
Donkey Kong.
cheekiness of those developers. So good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So good.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm like
Yeah.
just hot button topic right now in the gamer sphere.
So, next topic then. Obviously, the next Smash is going to have bosses again. At the very least, it's going to have Master Hand and Crazy again. Who knows what else they'll have? But how do you want bosses to be utilized? Do we still have it where you fight different ones in classic mode? Probably with better balancing between, hey, let's not have the whole cast fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Adventure mode where there's multiple bosses, boss battles mode. What do you think?
Kind of all the above. I mean, a classic. I like the idea of the themed classic modes, but they just did not go far enough with them in Ultimate. Um, I would. I mean, I would be totally content having Master and Crazy Hand be the bosses for everyone. I don't really, don't care. But with the roster growing and arguably probably continuing to grow, it makes sense to diversify the palette a little bit, so that way you're not going through classic mode, 80 to 90 times and doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's nice to split it up a little bit. I don't have any notes on like specifics, but yeah, like just tailoring these like nix the idea of like having it's like, oh, Bowser, just like Bowser's your final boss. Like what? Or DK's your final boss, or giant DK. Like just no, like the
Yeah.
regular character being the final boss, nix that. That's BS. Go for the full fat actual boss with a health bar. Fight the thing, etc., etc. Um, and yeah, make it better balancing because some of these things just flat out don't make sense or they're nonsense. Um, Yeah, an adventure mode. I mean, I would love again like going into like a subspace emissary like adventure mode is the dream. I don't think it'll happen. Um, Not with Sakurai's comments on like oh, it was ruined because the cutscenes got leaked. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was for a certain crowd of people who let that ruin it for them.
Yeah.
That's about it. Um, but yeah. So I would love that. I would, or in a more traditional adventure mode like Melee had, I would be fine with that too. Um, Incorporating bosses in there. Yeah, having a boss rush mode feels proper, like it just should be the case, and not just for Sephiroth. Um, yeah, just make it an actual mode again. And yeah, I mean, as far as like, so yeah, just anywhere and anywhere that can be incorporated. I think bosses are, the discussion that we've had here today just kind of lends itself to the idea that bosses are a critical part of the tailoring of Smash, and it's not a topic that we think about or that the community thinks about as often as maybe we should, because there's a lot of room to speculate here and a lot of room for wishing and hoping and thinking about boss modes and incorporating bosses and what bosses we want to see in the next Smash. There's a lot of real estate there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're a lot. Like when you're building them on the Smashtopia wiki, they're admittedly one of my least favorite types of submissions to go through and make because there's just so much to it.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, unless you're getting cheeky and do Bio Miracle Boca de Upa bosses like Giant Pig and Top Hat Walrus, then that's another story. But when you get into it and you make some of
What's
these
his name from Metal Gear 3? The snipe, the old man sniper?
yeah,
The sorrow?
no, not the sorrow, not the sorrow.
The pain?
The
The fear?
I think he's no, it's
The
the end.
end. How
Hmm.
could he work? Could he work?
I love him, so we can make it happen somehow.
I'm not sure. I just think it'd be funny if you're probably just like you took too long, so he just dies. Because there's some I don't remember exactly how it works. I think it's like if you get to a certain point, you save your game, you like turn off the game. Like if you turn back off, you turn the game back on like X amount of real time later, you turn it back on, he's just dead, and he died from old age waiting for you. It's like I think Kojima, what the fuck, man? My God, the
Yeah,
shit
you can
he
also
does.
kill him early. I think
Yeah, yeah, I think you
there's a
can.
way to yeah, there's a way to snipe him early on. Oh
Um,
yeah, you wait over a week to return to the game and then he just dies.
yeah, he just succumbs to old age.
I never did that and I never knew about it until you pointed it out. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Um, so as far as boss rush for the next game, first of all, I think if we're going to have more bosses than just Mastery and Crazy Hunter or whatever potentially new thing gets added to classic mode, give us a boss battles mode. Brawl had it. Why is it not an ultimate? I mean, okay, yeah, sure, I can play Sephiroth's classic mode, but what if I want to play somebody
Hmm.
besides Sephiroth? You know,
Yeah, right.
it's wild, it's stupid. I think you could do like yeah, I think if it's something like a Subspace Emissary type mode or a World of Light mode, then I'm not definitely not opposed to having them in the classic mode as well, just better balancing. If you do something that's more adventure mode like from Melee, and then in that one maybe each character has a different tailored boss, and there is the Mastery and Crazy Hand in that mode, and maybe the hands are just in classic mode. I think that's one way to do it. Alternatively, you could have it be classic hand. The final fight is always the hands, but maybe the penultimate fight it's against a personalized boss. Maybe that's
Yeah.
how they could do it, and that way everybody has gets to fight something different. Um,
Yeah.
but that I think I would choose like one of those solutions, depending on like what other side modes you have, and then obviously need boss battles, and also there'd be like some new bosses and probably some returning ones. Uh, who knows what will return? Monster Hunter kind of depends on if Capcom says or not, or Rathalos depends on if Capcom says yes. But at this point, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Hmm.
They have such a good relationship with Smash as is between Mega Man, Ken, and Ryu, and more
Yeah.
franchises hopefully in the future.
Yeah. 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 Definitely.
Something I want to do here. I want us to go through every franchise that has a playable character in Smash, and I want us to attempt, because some might be difficult. I want us to attempt to pick a new boss from that franchise for the next Smash Brothers game.
Okay.
So, going in order alphabetically here, Animal Crossing. What the fuck? This is the terrible one to start out with. Uh,
um, a giant bug.
Tarantula.
Oh god.
I have an enemy submission of a tarantula on the Smashtopia wiki.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know what else
That
it could be
works.
besides
They're a terror.
Zipper T Bunny,
Excuse me.
the Easter mascot.
Oh god. Oh my god. No, why god. Yeah, 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 why not?
All right, so
Why
there's the
not?
Animal Crossing boss, Zipper T Bunny.
Oh.
Ooh, starting off wild. Arms, I think is kind of obvious here. It's Max Brass with headlock on him.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
Banjo and Kazooie, Gruntilda.
Gruntilda.
Yeah. Bayonetta.
Oh. I don't really know this franchise all that well.
Insert random giant boss monster here?
Yeah.
I'd have to look at them up. Let me just look at. Let's assume it's going to pull from Bayonetta 3, so I'm just going to look at Bayonetta 3 bosses.
Arch Pyrocumulus.
There's nothing under its gameplay section. The bitch.
What is the final boss in Bayonetta 3? Let's just do that.
I don't remember.
Apparently, it's a giant kraken of some sort.
Arch Iridescent. Oh, apparently Arch Iridescent is the first kaiju type battle in Bayonetta 3, so that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But its gameplay apparently boils down to being rock, paper, scissors. What?
What?
I mean, not actually rock, paper, scissors, actually, but it's like a, hey, if they're doing this, you do that. If they're doing this, you do that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of a daily.
Looks like a weird, goopy Godzilla Furby.
Okay.
Yeah. Its alias is Giga Behemoth Decisive Unit. I can relate.
Hey, you know who said to rage for Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Phantasmarinea. It's a mechanical spider crab looking thing. And it deals with fire. I think it like Beta takes it and controls it or something.
Oh, okay.
It's a mini
Why
boss
not?
in Bayonetta 2, but Bayonetta can also use it in other games. I don't fully understand this thing. But fuck it. There's our Bayonetta boss. Something.
There you go.
Castlevania. We've already got Dracula. What would be our second boss?
That's a great question. There are.
Death comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
We could also do Carmilla, maybe.
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for Death being there, it would be a lot harder to just dictate, because there's quite a few that are pretty interesting. But yeah, I would say Death. I agree with that.
Okay. Donkey Kong.
Interesting. Very naughty.
I mean, okay.
Captain K. Rool. No, Lord
Frederick. It's better than Tiki Tong.
Hell yeah, it is. I was so disappointed for Tiki Tong to be the focus of the Universal ride.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys. Nobody cares about the Tikis. Literally nobody. Why are you pushing them still?
Seriously.
Dragon Quest has a lot to pull from. I feel like they realistically, they're either going to pull the most recent game or the first game. So just Dragon Lord.
I would say so, yeah.
Or actually, they might just do Dragon Quest 3 because that's
Yeah.
the Erdrick game, which is so it'd be Baramos or Zoma that they would pull from.
Mm-hmm.
I have not
Mm-hmm.
gotten to the Baramos fight yet, so I can't really speak too
Okay.
much about what he'll do.
Yeah.
And then
One
Zoma's
of those
in
though.
game, so I don't know what he does
Yeah.
either, obviously. But I would nominate. I don't want to nominate Baramos. I would consider either Zoma or the Dragon Lord.
Okay. Yeah, Dragon Lord is a popular character. Like he crossed over into like the Fortune Street stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he can midway through transform into his dragon form.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Duck Hunt,
The dog himself. Who else? God.
an 8-bit version of the
Um,
dog.
there. Okay, there you go. Hooray!
It's the bonus stage. He just pops up like a whack-a-mole, and you just gotta hit him a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That works. Yeah. If you need more, the zapper's there. Boom, 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 trying to hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earthbound. What would be a good
Interesting.
boss from Earthbound besides obviously Porky?
Good question. There's a lot of weird shit, and I don't know the name of any of it because um let's see.
Like I feel like you could do Gygas. I think there's a way to make that work. But I don't
Okay.
know if that's the one I
Yeah.
would want to do.
You could just do the Porky statue again, like make it something you can actually beat.
Master Belch.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's a great choice.
Nor do I. Um Starman Jr., you can do a Starman enemy, I guess.
Yeah, that's an enemy, not a boss.
Yeah, why am I seeing it under boss? It's weird.
Because it probably is a
Diamond
boss fight,
Dog.
but Smash wise, it probably wouldn't work out too well.
Mm-hmm.
And some things like they might be a boss, but it's like they're a mini boss. Like, is Everdread really a boss?
Mm-hmm. The Plague Rat of Doom. Jesus. You can do Diamond Dog for a Metal Gear crossover with Earthbound. Uh,
I kind of think it's just Gygas.
yeah, everything else is a little too out there.
Yeah, I think Gygas just like he's in the middle in his little like his orb sphere thing, but he's doing like all these like existential attacks across the arena, and he just doesn't move himself. He just has to go to the middle and attack him.
Yeah.
F-Zero.
Deathborn? I don't know.
Deathborn, the Skull, Zoda. Kind of take your pick here. I think Deathborn might be
Mr.
the choice.
EAD, Biorex,
QQQ,
yep, Dysengen.
Rick Wheeler.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go Deathborn. I think Deathborn makes the most
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He's got the brains.
Fatal Fury. Uh, none of them feel like they'd be
Beast.
like big bosses, but I guess Geese, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy.
There's just a lot.
I'm just gonna keep it to Final Fantasy VII because that's all that Smash has. And Guard Scorpion kind of fits that mold pretty well, I think. You could also do
Yeah.
Genova. Do Genova.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest too.
Yeah, that just makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Emblem.
There's a lot you can do. I mean, I think they would have a penchant to want to go for like the newest thing. They would be like, oh, it's
Sombron.
God, it's monstrous Edelgard.
Honestly,
It's
the Hegemon Emperor would work. Or I could see them pulling out the Duma boss fight, or even Grima.
Yeah, I mean the whole idea. People are like, oh, you can fight Grima and fight on his back and do this and that. There's all that talk. I don't know how they would translate that into Smash, but you could,
Yeah.
I guess.
I honestly, I
Yeah, it
don't
was.
think the whole fighting agreement on his back thing actually works. I disagree with people on that one.
Mhm.
I would pick either Duma or Edelgard.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would maybe toss Medeus in there, but at the same time, meh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Duma though would have a more unique design as a boss, just from like he's like the plague dragon or some shit, and
Hmm.
like he looks like he's
Well,
decaying.
yeah, he's very odd and cool. I wouldn't be against giving Shadows of Valentia more support. Like, I
Yeah,
love that game.
he's a
Hmm.
goopy, drippy dragon.
Yeah, a
Like
whole lot better
that
than the
look cool.
goopy, drippy shit that you fight in Fates. You fight Flubber in Fates. It's
I
bad.
mean, to be fair, Flubber would be a very difficult boss fight.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Game and Watch,
Octopus,
Octopus, I guess. Ice Climber,
Polar Bear,
yeah. Polar Bear, no,
the
no, wait.
Condor.
4 topies in a trench coat.
Yes, that looks like Polar Bear.
Yes. You beat the polar bear, and then he explodes into topies.
Oh my god.
Kid
Yeah, there you go.
Icarus.
Oh, good ones. Good ones
Yeah,
are
there's
here.
several options here. I think it's either Hades, Medusa, Hydra. Uh, they wouldn't be funny. Hades' heart.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
those were
I
what I go
agree.
for.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're going
Twin
for. It's
Bellows.
Medusa's. Yeah, Medusa would be cool. I mean, if she's playable, that's one thing. Um, yeah, I would imagine at this point they would go Medusa or Hades. Is my gut. I thought.
I would pick Go Hades. I like him better as the boss. Part of that's because
Hmm.
I don't see him as well as a playable character. I mean, they could, but I feel like
Hmm.
you do Medusa and Veridi before you do Hades.
Hmm.
Like he's
Yeah, and
just
Hades. So he's such a personality. You can invoke more of that in the boss battle.
yeah.
Hmm.
Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Oh, buddy. If you want something simple and iconic, there is Dark Side. There is the guard armor. Uh, Beyond that, you could just do Ansem.
Yep.
I don't think I would do
This is.
Xehanort or Xemnas.
Mhm.
I just kind of
This
think I
is
think Dark Side, honestly.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I defer to you. This is like your territory. Dark side works.
Kirby. It's kind of
Again, another one with a lot of great ideas.
uh-huh. Mark's already takes like a whole bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
Um Wispy Woods. No,
Yeah,
that's not good Smash Boss material. Mini
the wispy
Boss.
woods that walks around in
That's terrifying.
yeah, it exists too. It's in Forgotten Land.
What is the final boss of Forgotten Land again?
It's Fecto Elphalus,
Yeah, so what does it look like?
like an evil deer creature.
I'm kind of not dealing with that design.
Oh, Morpho Knight is also a boss. Like the final boss.
Yeah, that's
Leon Gar is the leader of the beast. You can do
true.
that.
Zero. 02.
Oh yeah.
Or just Dark
Oh yeah.
Matter. Dark
Yeah,
Mind, Dark
zero two.
Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dark Matter, you can have multiple faces, like the small little eye. You can have like the sword fighter version, and then I can't find what its big form is. Is there a big
Yeah.
form?
I think
I thought there was. Maybe I thought it was just connected to zero, and maybe it's not.
it's like a I think it's a bigger eye. Yeah, dark matter is I think that's the answer. That's the answer. It's there
Oh,
was
it
a whole
is. That's right.
fucking there was a whole phase of this shit. Like dark matter was a thing for a long time.
Yeah. You do the dark matter eyeball, then you do dark matter swordsman, then you do the zero eyeball, and then you do 0-2. And it's just this whole big
Yeah,
old phase of things.
yeah, like Master Core.
Yeah, but better.
Yep.
Next, Mario.
Again, there's a lot. There's just a lot, and there's a lot of good choices. Do you go like Mad and Brood to be the newest thing, or uh, like you can do King Boo if you want to do Luigi's Mansion, like theoretically.
That would make a lot of sense.
What are
That's
you
where we have
thinking?
PD Piranha at that whole mirror
Hmm.
of that. Otherwise, I think go with like maybe Wart.
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
Like Bowser, like unless like outside of the mainline games, Mario doesn't have a lot of different bosses. It's Bowser, the Koopalings, Bowser Jr., Boom Boom and Pom Pom, and then classic games also threw at us Wart and Tatanga. But otherwise, the mainline Mario games, as well as at least those like 2D platforms that just don't have anything else. Well, that's not
Hmm.
true. There was like the Histocrat and whatever the hell the other one was.
Hmm.
Galaxy gave us a few different things. The 3D games gave us more things like King Bob-omb, but I would not pick him. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna pick King Wump. I'm
Yeah.
not picking Madame Brood.
Hmm.
So yeah, I kind of think King Boo. I think that's a good choice actually.
Okay. I'd love him to be playable, but a boss makes too much sense.
Yeah. And then for the Mega Man franchise, it's got to be Wily in one of his various Wily machines.
For sure.
Even and then like you can consider Sigma from Mega Man X, but I'd still say go with Wily.
Hmm.
Metal Gear.
Ray. Metal Gear Ray.
Okay, I was gonna be like I was just thinking, it was like, okay, I only remember a few names between Ray, Rex, and Sahelanthropus.
Hmm. Yeah, because Ray is Liquid's like thing, so I think that would make sense.
I mean, he also takes control of Sahelanthropus.
That's also true. Sahelanth, that's just like so that's like a terrifying idea for a boss fight.
Why?
Sahelanthropus. It's so huge and mostly invulnerable. Let's do it.
Okay. I mean, so is Dracula with his fucking head.
Yeah. I mean, Rex, Ray, and Sahel, those are all good choices. Those are all good choices.
Solid as
Uh,
Snake.
yeah. Okay. The
What?
end.
You don't want to fight Doc Ock?
I when you put it that way, let's do it.
uh, Metroid. We can't pick Ridley.
Nope. Raven V.
I. Oh yeah, that's a good call. I was thinking more monstrous. Go with Kraid.
Oh yeah. Then Raven V can be playable.
Yes. Minecraft is the Ender Dragon. I guess you could also do the Wither.
Jack Black.
Either of those would be good. Good point. Pac-Man, what? Talkman, I guess. Is there another?
Hawkman
I don't
or
know any other villains besides the
there's
ghosts,
another
and I wouldn't pick
yeah,
them.
there's another one who what's his name? Spooky. Spooky the Ghost from Pac-Man World 2. He looks like a dark knight. He has a magic staff and floats around and he commands the other ghosts. Honestly, Talkman is maybe the answer.
Compare at least between these two. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Talkman.
Yeah.
Boy, Persona. Oh,
Um, what are you thinking? You know the franchise a lot more than me.
yeah. The bosses are kind of hard to really say. That maybe Nyx. Nyx could be a good choice from Persona 3. That's a
All right.
creepy ass looking boss.
Yes, it is.
That'll work. I'm picking Nyx.
There you go.
That way we get like a representation of like the actual arcanas and shit.
Mm-hmm.
From Pikmin, Titan fucking Dweevil.
Yeah,
You
go for it.
could do the dog from Pikmin 4, but Titan fucking Dweevil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm for that.
Here's a really hard one. Pokemon.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do. You can do Mirror B and a team of 6 Ludicololos.
Yes. I would
um,
probably
yeah.
go with like Eternatus. It's like the quote unquote evil legendary. It has this like other form.
Hmm.
I guess. I'm not gonna
Or
have
you can do
Rayquaza
like
come out of
Neo.
a lake.
Yeah, that makes sense. You get that's like a Rayquaza-esque thing that you can do, right?
Deoxys could also work.
Yeah.
Or
Or
what are the
Neolego.
like Black Kyurem or White Kyurem? I don't know if I go with Neolego. Ultra Necrozma.
Yeah.
Or actually
Yeah, there you go.
100% Zygarde.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Why not? Thematically appropriate with the game coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be relevant again, we presume.
Yep. Yep.
Punch Out, King Hippo,
Mike Tyson.
Mr. Sandman.
Yeah. King Hippo.
Uh, from the Rob franchise,
The
Ancient
ancient
Minister.
minister.
If you don't win in
um,
time, the subspace bomb blows up and you lose.
there you go. Professor Hector stacking blocks.
From the Sonic franchise.
There's a lot of good ideas here.
I think a few things that come to mind are Chaos, the Bio
Mhm.
Lizard. I don't know how well that one's like. Black
Yep.
Doom,
Yep.
that could work. Uh, is this guy? Would he work? I know people didn't like him because the game was not bad, or not good. I mean, Iblis definitely has the right form for it.
Mm-hmm.
He looks big enough. Just people don't like that game, which is fair.
The
Uh,
final boss from Sonic Frontiers was a moon.
what?
Okay. It's also called The End, which is funny based on prior conversations today.
Oh, dearie. I kind of like. What was your final form? Yeah, Perfect Chaos. I kind of like either Perfect Chaos or Black Doom.
Okay. Yeah, and those are both great foils too. Like Sonic or Shadow. Oh, Perfect Chaos is the one of the final bosses in Sonic Generations. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would go either way too. I guess maybe Chaos makes more sense. It's just like the catch-all for all the characters.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Splatoon. Um, DJ Octavio.
Big man, yeah, DJ Octavio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Star Fox, would be a good boss to use from Star Fox. Just do Andros, or is there anything else? I mean, there's the Alpharod Queen.
uh, yeah, there is, but Andros is the iconic one for sure. You could do his monkey, you could do his ape form, and then have him blow up into just his brainstem, like in Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, you could. That would be great.
Yeah. Street Fighter.
Yeah. M Bison.
It's either M. Bison, Gil, Seth. I don't know who the final boss, or I guess Sagat's technically the final boss. I don't know who is the final boss of 3 or Alpha or of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the final boss of
Um,
6? You've been playing 6? Who's the final boss of Street Fighter 6?
I don't know. I've just been training. Johann Petrovich. Okay, then.
Okay.
Also known as JP.
Oh, that guy. Okay, now I
Yeah.
know who you're talking about.
He looks kind of cool and kind of dumb at the same time.
Could also
But
just have
yeah,
it be Akuma.
that they would probably do that.
They would do Bison.
Yeah. You could do Akuma for Tekken.
Uh, Speaking of Tekken,
Negan.
ogre.
Colonel Sand. Oh yeah, ogre. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. Ancient ogre. That way you get away from the devil gene because otherwise it's just Devil Kazuya or Heihachi, which
yeah.
meh.
True ogre was Tekken 3 and sub boss of Tekken 2. The
Hmm.
final canonical transformation of Ancient Ogre, who is in 3 and 5. And then there's
Yeah.
Monstrous Ogre, which is also part of 5. Dear God, yeah. Ogre.
Hmm. It's quite a few, like more than I thought.
Oh, yeah. Legend of Zelda.
Wow.
We can't say
There's a lot
Ganon.
here. Nope. You could do Majora.
Mmm.
You
Or
could do
Vati.
which would be yeah, yeah. You could do Vati. Again with the eye though. Do you want Vati and Dark Matter? Hmm.
I mean,
You could. I don't see why not. Um.
I like Majora, though. I like Majora.
Yeah. You could do a Flux Construct. That'll get him talking.
No.
Hestu. No.
No.
Um. The Yuga Ganon.
No.
Yeah, I think the Majora might be the move here.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Which is,
how fun!
I'm looking at the design of the Majora's boss. It's actually like really weird. It's like, okay, that's terrifying.
I like the goat that shits out bombs. Oh, and it's literally called Goat. I
I'm
forgot that.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Wario.
Um,
All I know is Shake King. Oh wait. Oh,
the
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 lady.
Black Diamond.
Mm,
Oh, Captain Syrup.
Not that lady, but the Black Diamond is
Oh
also
no, you're.
terrifying to look at. The Golden Diva.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be a callback. I would like that.
That'd be a good classic option.
Yeah, and
Uh,
unexpected too.
yeah. We Fit is the balance board telling you you're fat.
Yeah. Oh my, you're obese.
Fuck BMI, man.
It's like, yeah, know that my entire life, lady. Yeah, seriously, it's the
Here's
balance board.
Xenoblade. Oh, I just saw your eyes go big.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a lot.
I think there's some options.
No, there
Uh
definitely are.
yeah. Well, I forget I forget I forget is Xansa the final boss of the first game?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I think Xansa is a good option.
Hmm.
I don't remember all how that fight goes. Oh wait, he just looks like a dude in his boss fight. Never mind.
Hmm.
He looks like a Kingdom Hearts character.
Yeah.
No, let me amend that. His sword looks like a Keyblade.
Yep.
I was thinking before it was like Titan looking boss.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be more interesting. Actually, I guess he does have final forms that do look more interesting. Not Mallows, but like what's that mech at the end?
Hmm. Can't recall the name of it.
Artifice Ion. Yeah, I think Ion could
Oh
work.
yeah,
And then from Xenoblade
definitely.
3, obviously, there's console K,
Mhm.
not J. Wait, no, is K the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, K is who I'm thinking of, I think. The fucking serial killer one.
Mhm. Yeah.
The picture I just see here doesn't look quite right.
doesn't, but yeah, I could see it.
Otherwise, Zed could work.
Yep.
Uh, or how does where's Future Redeemed? Alpha. That's right. That's your name. Do you have a second
That's
form that's
me.
not just like what you look like? They do. Yeah. I would probably say Ion.
Yeah, just something still relevant to the story quite a bit, but a little more out there. Like the whole mech aspect is a big deal in a way, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do something from Cross. We could do a skill.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Cross though, so I wasn't gonna look at its bosses because I still
Yeah.
want to play the game once it comes out on Switch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that works. That works for me.
And then our final franchise pick a boss from Yoshi,
Yeah. Bronto Bert. No, not Bronto Bert. Bert the Bashful.
Sluggy the Unshaven.
Giant baby Bowser in the background doing things.
I mean, yeah, pair that with Kamek flying around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are the? God, I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's what it is. We can do a phlegmatic Jameer from Xenoblade
Prince
as well.
Roggy,
Prince Frog.
the
There you
Naval
go.
Piranha,
That
which
would
is
be
the only
cool.
boss that you can kill before the boss fight even starts.
Oh, I
Because
forgot
if
about that.
you get close enough, you can see the little sprout before Kamek can do its thing. Throw an egg at it and just win. It's like, oh,
Yep,
okay.
that's cool. That's always fun. Um, Cloud and Candy from Yoshi's Story. That you just eat it three
Don
times and it's
Bongo,
gone. Yeah, iconic design.
Hookbill the Koopa,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That asshole.
Salvo the Slime, Roger
Yeah,
the Potted Pot, Raphael the Raven.
classic. Raphael. Who are the bosses in Yoshi's New Island? The best game in the series.
What about Yoshi's Island DS?
Furious Fred the Fillet. Okay,
Fillet or fillet?
either way. Fred de Filet. A giant mechanical fish. Okay. And King Clawdaddy. Name I've adopted at times. Punky the Punky Prince.
I feel Yoshi's kind of a hard one to pick like an actual real serious boss for.
Yeah. I kind
Like
of just feel like it is that.
I feel like it's a combo of Giant Baby Bowser and Kamek, but you can't attack Giant Baby Bowser. Instead, you have to attack Kamek and start flying around. And when
Hmm.
Kamek's defeated, the magic on Baby Bowser runs out.
Yeah,
I think that's
I
what you
like
do.
that. I like
And look
that.
at that. We picked a boss from every franchise that has a playable character currently in Smash. Huzzah! Any final thoughts, John, on boss battles in Smash?
They're a key part of the franchise that must continue to preserve the series' integrity.
In
And I
my
look forward to uh, uh, the bunny from Xenoblade that holds a club being a boss,
oh god,
whatever that's
not the
called.
Bunnets.
Yeah, that thing.
Oh, how do we forget the big monkey from Xenoblade? How there's always a giant monkey that's like 50 levels higher than you in the first zone. Ugh, fucking
I forgot
assholes.
about that. Yeah.
Fucking assholes. And my final thought on boss battles is, hey, if you're gonna vary at the bosses in classic mode, actually vary them up and don't have almost every single fight just be Master Hand and Crazy Hand. Let us
Hmm.
have the variety. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh, and Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, it's Hey, Red and the Territorial is the level 81 giant ape that you can fight in the first area.
Hate it.
Very ugly creature.
All right. Well, on that note, that's a whole episode. Next time it's a Smashtopia, and we're not turning a boss into a Smash Bros. Character, though maybe that could be a theme for a future end of season Smashtopia
Yeah,
thing we could do.
yeah.
I actually don't remember what we're doing this year. Oh wait, no, that's right. That's what we have planned currently. Next episode, Smashtopia, we're making a character from Fire Emblem. That's right. It's been a while.
Oh
We took a
yeah.
whole season off from doing it, so we're doing it again. But which of the 1,000 Fire Emblem characters are we making one out of? I ain't telling you shit.
It's not Devden.
Or Dead Dan.
Dan Ved.
Yes.
And not Devi Devi then.
Goodbye.